Hi everyone, I hope all of you guys are doing well. So today what I'm going to discuss is one very genuine problem of a lot of UPSC aspirants, and in fact this is one of the problems that even I faced when I was preparing for UPSC, and that problem is that of not being able to maintain consistency, not being able to focus continuously day after day when you are preparing. See, there are a lot of days when you will not feel like studying. In fact, when I was preparing, I will tell you, sometimes I used to pick up this book on medieval history, this NCERT book on medieval history, and for some reason I never developed any interest in that particular book. Maybe it was my own fault that I was not interested in the subject, or maybe it was just that the text was heavy or something that was not really inspiring me, something that was not really making me think, making me too curious about things. So to overcome that, I had to study for this particular portion of history, because if I did not study, I could face challenge in the exam, I could miss 2-3 easy questions. So it is very important, like a lot of aspirants are told by toppers that you have to cover the entire syllabus, don't leave anything. So for that one reason, I continued to study, I continued to find ways in which I could cover this medieval history part. So a lot of you might be facing the same problem. You might be facing problem with ancient history, you might be facing problem with polity, you might be facing problem with economy. All these books that I have here, somewhere or the other, there will be sections in those books where you will find some difficult topics which you are not able to cover. For instance, you could be a non-economic student who has never studied economics or taken any interest in economics in their lives, and suddenly you have to understand the concepts, the complex concepts of inflation or demand and supply, and that might throw you off. So at that time, what happens is we become demotivated and we are not able to kind of find our foot, we are not able to study properly. So to overcome this, what I personally did was, I'm going to share with you, and I'm also going to tell you a few stories of how I specifically, not just methods and concepts, but specifically what did I do, how did I plan, what steps did I take to actually overcome those particular things. Alright, so let's go ahead and dive into it. So the first thing I'm going to tell you today is the rule of 1/3. And this is a very simple rule. It is applicable to everything. It is applicable to athletics, it is applicable to studying, it is applicable to preparing for competitive exams, it is applicable to studying for college or school, for board exams, for any other competitive exams apart from UPSC, and it is even applicable for tough situations in which you are finding it difficult to continuously work on them, some tough projects. And this very simple rule is that 1/3 of the time when you are doing something difficult, or you are doing something day by day, and it requires a lot of effort, 7-8 hours, 10 hours of continuous effort, there are going to be 1/3 days when you are going to be happy about your progress. There are going to be 1/3 days when you are going to be not very happy about your progress. In fact, you are going to question whether you actually did anything. You are going to feel down, you are going to have doubts, you are going to feel underconfident, and you are not going to see any results. And there are going to be 1/3 days when you are going to just feel okay, that progress today was decent, but not as good as the other 1/3 days. Alright, so you are going to see this 30 kind of 33% times, 1/3 times. You are going to have these different feelings, different way you will be percepting your own perception about your progress. Alright, so 1/3 is really good progress. So for example, let's say I start running and I want to improve my running. 1/3 days I will feel really good and I will run fast. I will be able to produce results, I will be able to have a good training. Similarly, 1/3 days I am going to have okay training, whatever goal I had, I am going to achieve that, but it was just okay, it didn't feel great. And 1/3 days I am going to feel not that good, I am not going to be able to make my timing. In UPSC also, you are going to have these 1/3 days. There are going to be days when you are going to go through your plan, you are going to go through any book, any materials very fast, it is going to be simple to understand, you are going to be able to answer questions. 1/3 days are going to be just okay, you are going to finish, but you are not going to be able to feel that great about what you did, and you might forget those things, or you might not be able to recall them or do that well on tests. And there are going to be 1/3 days when your performance is not going to be good, when you are going to feel like, oh, today I was really not able to answer these questions even though I studied, or today I did not see any progress in my last few days. So this is applicable to pretty much all fields, this is applicable to pretty much all the days, and even I personally felt that way when I was preparing for UPSC. There were many days when I used to feel very high of the studying that I was doing, because it was just going so great. I was able to answer questions, I was able to write the good answers, I was able to see that performance, I was able to see that progress, continuous daily progress. And there were days when I would not feel that, 1/3 days when I would not feel that great, and I would not even feel like studying. Now the real thing that comes in is how you are doing, not on those 1/3 great days, because those as it is are taken care of, you are doing well. What matters is how you are doing on those 1/3 days when you don't feel like doing anything, when you don't feel like, you just feel like giving up, and you might have given up. Well, what matters on those days, just showing up and just getting it done somehow. Whatever ways you find out, but just getting it done somehow is what is going to matter, and what is going to make the difference between you and another aspirant who is also studying for the exam, because the other 90% of the aspirants are going to give up on those 1/3 days, but only 5-10% are actually going to continue to study on those 1/3 days and be able to make it. Alright, so for that, I have written down certain things to just kind of remind myself about this power of showing up. How did I use this power of showing up in these 1/3 bad days that I was able to make progress? Alright, the first one is, you can always change the topic that you are studying. So let's say you are studying medieval history, you are not very fond of studying for era between, let's say, 1300 to 1500 AD, because you are not really able to understand it, you are not just getting any interest in it. So that could happen, that is all right. Maybe the way text is written is not very interesting, there are too many facts and you don't like it. So what you can do is, you can switch to another era, you can switch to another book, you can switch to another mode of studying the same concept, or you could study a different concept. So for example, what I would do is, I would either go on Google and search for that era, I would go to the Wikipedia page, I would go to other sources, credible sources, and just read through that, because I want to change this monotonous whole journey I am having to something that is more interesting and a little different. So that changing sometimes helps, because the tone changes, because the way maybe someone else is teaching, someone else from where you are reading is different than what you are reading in an NCERT book or some other book that you are referring to. So I would go to Google Images, I will maybe look at a YouTube video, only when you feel like you are not able to concentrate on some specific book that you are reading. So I used to do that, because when I was reading NCERT for medieval history, I would find it difficult. So I switched to other, I would just search online for it, and I would cover those specific parts where I was not able to kind of get into it, I was not able to find any interest, to another source that way, or I would switch to another subject altogether or another topic altogether. So instead of studying that particular era, I would maybe shift to the Mughal dynasty, or maybe I go back to ancient India, or maybe I go to the freedom struggle of India, or maybe I go to even economics. So it depends on what you are feeling about that subject, and you can switch. The whole idea is not to waste time, not to waste your day, study anything but to waste that day. So that is what I mean, that you switch, so you will be able to find your kind of pace again, you will be able to find your interest again in studying. Alright, that is one thing I could do. Second thing you could also do is that 20%, by 20% you could reduce your target for that day. So let's say you are planning to study for 100 pages that day, just a very 100 pages is difficult in one day, but let's say you are planning to do 100 pages. Reduce that to 70 pages, 50 pages, or if you are planning to study 20 pages, reduce that to 10 pages and do other things. You could do a little bit of writing practice, you could do a little bit of answer writing, you could do a little bit of PYQs or MCQs from other sources. So you could do all these things to kind of reinvigorate your mind and to get out of the monotony and to actually utilize. Like I said, it is all about utilizing that 1/3 of the day when you are having a bad day, instead of 1/3 of those times when you are having bad days. It is all about showing up and utilizing that day instead of wasting that day. So here are different ways that I have told you in which you can kind of utilize those days. Other than that, you can also switch to a core subject, because see, core subjects may say 60 to 70% of the exam is going to come from core subjects: polity, economy, environment, these kind of subjects, little bit of geography also. These are the core subjects, and from there I wanted to go ahead and study maybe some part of that core subject on that day instead of just wasting your day. So the whole idea is, don't waste your 1/3 bad days. The rule of 1/3 is very, very powerful. 1/3 days you are going to have good, 1/3 okay. The 1/3 bad ones are the ones you have to show up and realize some progress in, and that is how you will be able to move out from that negative mindset or anxious mindset or feeling confused or not being able to realize that particular day itself. All right. So this is what I wanted to tell you today, because I felt this is a very powerful concept which a lot of you can benefit from. Other than that, what you can also do is, when you are having sort of a not a very great day, you can take a little bit of time off, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, close your eyes, deep breathes, and deep breathe outs. That will really help you. Just kind of calm your mind down, focus on your part here, just breathe in, breathe out, and just kind of try to feel the good positive energy around you. That is what matters. It is all about your mindset, it is all about your attitude. If you have a positive outgoing attitude that I am going to get it done regardless of whether I am having a bad day or a great day, that will take you a long way in this particular journey. And this is applicable for everything. Even if you are in college right now, even if you are someone who is maybe not preparing for a competitive exam but is trying to find out a way to have a more productive career or profession, or having struggled with those bad days, just showing up and getting it done matters. But not showing up and just completely giving up will be something that will eventually hurt you more than those good days, those great days you are having. So this is how I would manage my ups and downs. This is how I would kind of bring my ups and downs to a level so that I am consistently performing. Let me know if you have any questions, happy to answer them. Next class, I might take mostly on answer writing, the series that we are doing, or I might continue the reading skills video that I did last time, so that we can continue to the next part on how to read well, how to read more effectively. All right, take care, have a good day. Let me know if you have any questions. Bye.